Carolina This Week with Tim McGinnis.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. The Horry County Council Chairman primary election has come and gone. Of course, only Republicans filed to run, so the winner of the seat will most likely be the next Horry County Council Chairman. Here's a look at the results from last Tuesday evening. Mark Lazarus, almost 41% of the vote. Next was Al Allen with about 24.5% of the vote. Debbie Harwell with almost 24% of the vote. Then Liz Gillen and Fonzie Lewis. Now the top two vote getters are in the primary, and that's what we're going to be talking about this Sunday and next Sunday here on Carolina This Week. This Sunday morning, we are talking with Horry County Council member right now, Al Allen, who hopes to be chairman. You're vice chairman right now.
Good morning, Tim. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about that election. The first thing that stuck out in my mind was what an abysmal turnout. About 9%. I think it's one of the lowest turnouts that I've seen since I've been covering local politics.
Certainly it was. And so if we had just a few over 13,000 registered voters here in the county to, actually turn out, when there's somewhere around, I think, 184,000 registered voters in Horry County, is extremely low, very sad turnout.
Now, you ran a very tight race with Debbie Harwell. Did you think that did you think things were gonna be as close as they were? Did you think you were gonna be in this runoff?
Well, sir, I really did not expect it to be that close with her. But if you'll look at what the campaigns have spent in this race, I think that we've done exceptionally well with the small amount of spending we've had on our campaign compared to the others.
As I recall from the debate that we had here, I believe it was the Tuesday before the election, Mark Lazarus said he had spent over $60,000. Ms. Harwell said she had spent around $30,000, and the rest of you were down around $4,000 and $5,000. So that is a big money gap. You have some time now to get the word out, to get the vote out for the runoff election.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be spending any more money? How are you trying to get how are you going to be motivating the people to get out and vote for you?
Well, sir, certainly we will be spending more, but it will not be near as much. This is a typical David versus Goliath scenario, and we are pressing our people. We have got to get the people out to vote, because that is what's going to make the difference. Votes count. Dollars don't, even though they can buy you a whole lot more exposure, but the votes is what really counts at the end of the day.
When you talk about some of the major issues that the county's facing, obviously jobs is one of them. Everybody wants to recruit more jobs to Horry County. Infrastructure is one of them. Everybody would like to see I-73, but short of that happening, want to do some improvements to 501, make it easier to travel. It seems like everybody kind of stands at about the same place on the issues. What separates you? Why should you be Horry County Council Chairman and not Mark Lazarus?
Well, sir, because of my examples in my current track history. I have served on council longer than he has. I have served the last year as the vice chairman. I have filled in a lot for our Congressman Tom Rice, and I have set a good example of leadership. Over the past 4 years, our actual Horry County operating budget has actually dropped. So we have not gone over budget. We've had not any tax increases, but yet we have improved our services to our citizens. So that is setting a very good track history. Do you want to continue with that history with a proven record, or do you want to take a chance on changing that? We don't need to change the boat in the middle of the stream and stuff, because we're on the right track. We're doing a good job. We have proven experience and proven leadership skills.
On to jobs. Where are the jobs? How are they going to get here? We have seen some increases, but we haven't seen that big call center come in. We haven't seen the big operation come in yet. When do you think we're going to see something happen on that front, and how are you going to work to make that happen if you're elected?
Well, sir, first of all, we have to look at our local businesses first, and those who are able to and have a desire to expand, we have to work with them. Charity always begins at home. We have to take care of our own first. With the larger ones, we have to be extremely careful to make sure that they're that there is no monkey business involved like it was with Project Blue. We have to make sure that things are on the up and up and that everything is done above board, and it's done for the citizens here to provide good long-term jobs.
Should special breaks be extended to companies that want to come and establish themselves here, or to companies that do want to expand? Should they be given maybe certain tax considerations or any special deals from the county?
Well, sir, that will all depend on what they have to offer us. And if the offset will be that they are going to be putting more money into the economy, then sure, we need to take a look at that. But how much would have to be looked at extremely close as to what their end product can, offer our communities here.
I want to talk a little bit about infrastructure, one of the other big issues that is facing the county, and several other things, including maybe some privatization of certain services that the county offers after a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Carolina This Week. We are tackling the Horry County Council Chairman candidates who remain. Al Allen this week, Mark Lazarus next week. We were talking about jobs in the last segment. Now I want to move and talk to a little bit about infrastructure. I think just about every candidate agreed I-73 would be a good thing and that everybody is going to do what they can to push for I-73 on a state and federal level. Beyond I-73, we have a lot of road issues that I think people would like to see addressed. Clearing up 501, the Southern Evacuation Lifeline. Where do you stand? What are the priorities? What do you want to make happen if you're elected Horry County Council Chairman?
Well, sir, first of all, we have to accept the fact that our federal government is broke. We can't expect much help from them. Our state is now looking at trying to shift state roads on to the counties in the state. They're not going to be a whole lot of help there. We have always addressed our own transportation issues right here in Horry County ourselves with Ride 1 and Ride 2. I think we need to take a serious look at starting up a Ride 3 and having specific projects put on those, such as the Sail Road, the Carolina Forest area, Highway 501 corridor between Conway, Myrtle Beach. I would like to reconstitute the Sail Committee and appoint folks there to where they would be able to get back to work on these projects and keep them in the forefront before the media, before the public, and before their elected officials. Because as it stands now, everything is just kind of simmering out there. We need to stir that pot again. We need to get it back in the forefront of things. Because even if we get our I-73 access here, we're going to have a place to shift and move that traffic. And the Sail Road needs to either be built just prior to that or in conjunction with I-73. And those other areas, the Highway 501 corridor between Conway and Myrtle Beach and the Carolina Forest area has to be addressed also.
When we talk about Ride 1 and Ride 2, just for people who aren't familiar, this is basically a penny tax that is voted on by people. Lasts for, I think, around 7 years.
That's right.
Several projects are attached to it. We've seen a lot of the projects in the Ride 2 come to fruition, but some of them haven't yet, and it expires this year. And one of those is paving International Drive, and I know a lot of people who live in the Carolina Forest area want to see this happen, but there's some state issues that are holding that up. How do you think we're going to get this moving forward? Yes, sir.
International Drive will be paid. And the good news is, just yesterday morning in the Horry County Council I&R subcommittee, we got an update on it. And it looks like we're closer than we've ever been, thank the Lord. Because everything is in place. We're waiting on a permit out of Charleston. And as soon as that wetlands mitigation permit is issued, we're going to be able to push forward with that. But the one thing that hurts us is that one, along with some of these other areas, we have the money in the bank. We have well over $400 million sitting in an account drawing interest under the Ride 2. We've got the money to complete these projects, but because of protests and lawsuits from activists, they're being slowed down and held up. And that's where we need to work with our state legislators and get them to enact a law, something similar to tort reform to where when people decide to protest and hold up an entire county that is already voted by a 68% majority for these, they would have to post a bond. They don't have any skin in the game right now, and they need to be held accountable. And if they lose their protest or their lawsuit, they have to forfeit their bond to the people of Horry County. We can't hold up an entire county just because of a couple of people wanting to protest these things. We've got experts and engineers, all sorts of people on board that know how to build roads and knows what's best for our community and our environment. We need to get past that, and we need to go on and do what we need to do for the citizens here.
Let's talk a little bit about your relationship with council now. A lot of people say that a council chairman, a leader, needs to be a consensus builder.
Yes, sir.
Do you see yourself as somebody who could be a consensus builder on council?
I am already. I lead by example. I try to keep good character and strong integrity. And I listen to my other council members as to what their issues are and their concerns. And in turn, we have a very good council right now. We are good about trying to build that consensus amongst us to do what is best for the people and the citizens of this county. And that's why I feel like my experience with this current council will go a long ways, because I've got respect of them.
Not only a consensus among the council members, but we have this thing called the Committee of the Whole now in Horry County, where you get the municipality leaders, you get the county leaders all coming together. I think a strong, something that people probably noticed recently were the laser rules that came out. Do you want to see that continuing, the work that the municipalities are doing with the county, kind of moving together on certain issues?
Well, actually, that Committee of the Whole was a new subcommittee meeting that was established by our former county council chairman. We have since moved away from that and moved back into our individual subcommittee meetings, which are able to address more specific issues with more time, and it works well. Yes, we need to have a meeting of the whole of all participants in this county: the mayor of Aynor, the mayor of Loris, and North Myrtle Beach, Atlantic Beach, Briarcliff, Myrtle Beach, and Surfside, and Conway. Everybody in this county needs to have a seat at the table with our county council, and that is something that I will move to work on, to hopefully have one at least every quarter, so that we'll know what the specific needs are and at what we can do to help each other, because that's what we're supposed to be doing, representing and working for the citizens of the whole of Horry County. For we are Horry County, and we are one county.
Some counties, some large counties with large cities, for instance, maybe Horry County, looking at Myrtle Beach, will merge services, sometimes fire services, sometimes police services. Is that anything that you think needs to be explored in Horry County, merging any services between municipalities and the county?
We're already doing that. Murrells Inlet, the Garden City Fire Department, provides fire protection for the southern end of our county. We are currently doing that through our emergency 911 dispatch that is not only handling all of our county calls, but also those for the town of Aynor, the town of Loris, and the city of Conway. So yes, everybody pays taxes into that pot, and anything that we can see in the future to merge to provide better services and allowing the most bang for the buck, that is what we're going to do. And that takes a good senior staff, which Horry County has an excellent senior staff now. They have the education, they have the experience, the knowledge, and they have the will to work towards that. No more little turfs, but yet providing the best services possible for all the citizens of the county.
Would you ever see a day where there might be one police department for the county?
Well, that's a very good possibility, but it will probably be somewhat out into the future. There are several counties throughout the southeast United States that has actually done that. But that's something that we are going to have to look at and explore and make sure that we can provide those services.
All right. Let's take another break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Horry County Council Chair candidate Al Allen. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more Carolina This Week. Welcome back to Carolina This Week. We're talking to the Horry County Council Chair candidates for the primary runoff, which happens on Tuesday, March 26th. Al Allen is here this week. Mark Lazarus will be here next Sunday morning. I want to continue our conversation now talking about crime in Horry County. We have a new police chief in Sandra Rhodes. She's been with the department for a long time, and a lot of people, I think, were happy to see her promoted to the chief spot. Are you happy with her performance so far? And what's your take on crime in the county? Certainly I am.
Well, I have worked for the Conway City Police Department. I have worked for the Horry County Sheriff's Office. I have been a school resource officer and a DARE officer. So I've got a real good inside look at these things. Sandra Rhodes and I worked years ago on the street when she was debate officer and I was part of the chase team. Sandra is an excellent person. She's the best person for the job we have at hand right now because she has excelled herself through the ranks and she understands the needs of Horry County. We've also got a current wonderful sheriff, Philip Thompson, so he does a good job. I had the opportunity to work under him. And I still maintain an active reserve deputy status with the Horry County Sheriff's Office. Now, Sandra brought something to the county police that was been needing for a long time. She brought some fresh eyes. She brought fresh air in the leadership to the county police. She has restructured the command staff, and I believe that she has turned overall morale around there because she leads by example and she understands what the needs are of this community. As far as our crime, she is starting to put community policing back in place to where you have officers who are from their own areas that know their areas are going back into those areas and working those areas. Who better to put there except a person that knows the people of the area? And then if something strange or odd is happening, those people in that community know that officer and they'll have confidence in them and they'll come and speak to them. As far as crime, we have a wonderful, well-equipped county police department and the sheriff's office. And they do not do a duplication of services since we've had some restructuring. They both have specific job assignments and they know their jobs and they do them well. But at the same time, anytime a call comes in for a citizen requesting aid, it doesn't matter. If a sheriff's car's nearby, they respond. If a county police car's nearby, they respond. I'm extremely proud of both of our departments here and they're doing a good job. You're going to start seeing, I think, a lot of these crimes that's happening within our community start turning around and slowing down because we're getting back into community-based policing, which is what needs to be done. Also, we have probably one of the best equipped county police and sheriff's offices in this county. One thing is, our sheriff provides a van that will actually be out there on call 24/7 to where if a county police or a sheriff's officer makes an arrest on the scene, that van goes by and picks up that prisoner, transports them to our jail, which keeps that officer out there on the street. I've also worked with our state legislators in introducing a new bill to the State House that just came out of committee and it's on the House floor now about creating a new classification of officer called an SPO, a school protection officer, which you could pull from veterans and retired officers, send them to the Criminal Justice Academy for a short course, update them on their firearms, equip them and arm them and put them in a coat and tie and give them a cell phone and assign them in our schools for the protection of our children, which will release your Class 1 officers so that they can get back out on the street and provide more officer protection for our citizens. That's called leadership. That's called insight and pressing forward and putting the safety of our county first.
Last question, and really not a whole lot of time to answer this one because we're running out of time. If a Superstorm Sandy, say, or a Katrina or Hugo type storm were to hit this area, and let's hope it doesn't.
Hope and pray it doesn't.
If it were, would the county be ready?
Yes, sir. We have one of the most professional emergency operations center agency in this state. It has won national and state awards, headed up by our EOC director, Randy Webster. And they do an excellent job. They are always ahead of it, because if you notice, anytime a storm approaches the coast of South Carolina, where does the governor come? They come to the Horry County Department of Public Safety, to our EOC. We have an excellent team there. They are ready to provide the information and keep us updated on what we need to make decisions as leaders in this county. They do a super job.
No changes need to be made there.
No changes there. So if they are high-tech, they are well qualified, and are constantly updating their training and their knowledge.
We hope people get out and vote on Tuesday, March 26th. This is your last chance. You got 30 seconds to tell them on Carolina This Week why they should come out and vote for you.
This is my last chance. Al Allen has served. He has a track record. You know Al Allen. He leads by example. I would be honored to have your vote on March the 26th. It is critical and important for us to stay on course, for this leadership to be done by example, through good character and strong integrity. And remember, we are Horry County, and we are one. God bless you, and let's roll.
All right. Al Allen, thank you very much. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a little bit more of Carolina This Week.